So now tell me about these chairs that are around here. I know we spoke a little bit about it, but you can get service up here, right?
Last year, yes. This is a little nightclub you're sitting in.
Yeah, this is a great place. This is where you want to sit when you come to see a play.
We serve refreshments here, drinks and snacks, and these are unquestionably the best seats in the house. And they're very much in demand. So when you call for your tickets, be sure you say you want to sit at a table.
Okay.
And the answer will probably be you can only do it on Wednesday afternoon. But there.
So we can't have a table reserved?
Ask anyway. Yes, of course you can reserve it if somebody else hasn't reserved it first. They'll reserve for two. Sometimes these small tables, such as the one we're sitting at, they're normally for 4 people. Two couples can sit at them. But this came about last year when we put on the play Song of Singapore. It's a wild comedy that is supposed to take place in a nightclub in Singapore. And this was the nightclub milieu. And our stage people, the more we thought about it, the more we talked about it, the more likely it seemed that this would be a nice format and would suggest, this is a large theater as you can tell by looking around,
yes,
would suggest a nightclub anyway. So we put it in and it was so popular that we just haven't had the heart to take it out. So everybody who comes to the play now can come to it nightclub style.
Well, I think it's a great addition. Absolutely, definitely. So, okay, tell me what an average day in your life is like. You wake up, you have coffee, take a shower, have coffee.
Right.
And then you go to the News-Journal.
First I read the newspaper.
The News-Journal newspaper, of course.
Yes, right. Read in fact, all 3 or 4 editions of it. And then I go to the office and work. At this time of year, there's almost always some kind of evening activity.
Such as this.
Well, yeah. Tonight I have a business dinner with other people from the theater to talk about future projects. Very interesting, very much interested in this. And we seize Monday night because the theater is dark on Monday night, and we get a little respite. Tomorrow night I'll be in the pit conducting Oklahoma all again.
Yes.
So the day goes like that. I get up 3 mornings a week, if I can, and go to the gym and work out, and then shower and go to the office and work a day. And
all right, now are you working 8-hour days?
Well, if I can get stopped by the. I really work a 16-hour day. Wherever I go, I'm working. And being the head of the newspaper is kind of like that. It's
tell me like what responsibilities you have. People come to you with what kind of, do you have to approve certain articles that go in the paper?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I am often asked to look at one, get my comments, see if I can suggest anything. But I don't try to take the go, no-go decisions away from the excellent editorial staff. That's their job. Donald Lindley is the executive editor, and he's first class at his work. We run the place it's heavily run by consensus. They have something they're not sure of, they come and ask me, what do you think? And then they listen to me and they do as they please. No, I'm serious about that. That's it isn't exactly a democracy. It's more just a sort of a collection of intelligent people trying to work in concert. At the newspaper, I have a lot of the top-end financial things to worry about, and I do our interdepartmental meetings of different types. Today, for example, we had a mechanical department's meeting which focused on quality control. And we like to have those because problems come up and then we can sit around and tap everybody's expertise and solve the problems. So that is a very valuable meeting. Then we have department head meetings, and the top executives once every 2 weeks have what we call a planning meeting, sort of a hair down session to talk about far out things. And there's tons of stuff to read, tons of mail to answer. That's the job.
So now, are you the guy that signs all the paychecks?
Well, my signature appears on the paychecks. I'm happy to tell you that I don't sign them. They're signed by a signature plate, but that's my signature.
I bet you years ago you had to sign each and every one, though, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't have to? They had the signature stamps then, too?
In those days, they had the business manager sign them.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so where are you going to go off to this evening? You've got well,
I'm just going to a restaurant with some of the theater people, where we can sit in the corner and talk ideas
about upcoming.
Well, some of the plays that we want to do, and some of the which ones are feasible and which are not. Next year will be the 100th anniversary of Leonard Bernstein's birth, and we're going to have some kind of commemorative elements in the summer season. Actually, we're just finishing off on the winter season planning. I just approved the winter season schedule today.
And even putting something like this together that you can get when you come to one of the plays, that must be about take some work, right?
It takes a lot of work. There's the advertising is sold by advertising salesmen who get who do it on commission. But the editorial content is done by Kelly Beasley, the press person for the theater, and it takes her 6 weeks of not consistent every day, all day work, but every one of those biographies that's in there has to be milked out of the individual,
right.
But with force and violence. Takes a long time to get everything done. He has to get Lester to write his piece. He has to get me to write my piece. And then there's the endless succession of phases of proofs and design, and then the proofs and the proofreading and the okaying and so on. She does a fabulous job with it. Went right on time to the press this time, as always with her.
Yes, I know Kelly very well, and fortunately, she was able to open the theater for us a little early so we could get in here to get all of our camera gear so we could do this wonderful interview with you. Okay, now what happens if, say you have a play, you debut a play, and I know you probably have never had this happen to you, but it just isn't hitting the mark. People just don't seem excited about it. Have you ever, that happens a lot of times with movies, celebrities they have hits and then all of a sudden they have a flop. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Well, a flop, no. I think we've never had a flop. But one of the reasons is that there's so much excitement to the actor-audience relationship, to the live actors and the live play. Some things are more popular than others. Recently we did the Medium and the Telephone by Giancarlo Menotti. The Medium is a very dramatic play which ends with a murder, shooting, and audiences expressed a lot of unhappiness about that. They didn't cancel their subscriptions or anything. They just said they didn't like that it was too rough for them. Well, unfortunately, the theater is that way. If we're doing operas, it's all murder and mayhem, as you know. So,
right.
If somebody isn't killed, there's no opportunity for the fat lady to sing. So, even in Oklahoma, you remember the other night, there's a good deal of there's some violence and some gunshots and.
Is that what people sometimes have a problem with? Is the violence?
Yeah.
Well, that's even in all the movies you see nowadays. So.
Yeah, but having the live actor die in front of your eyes is it's different. It's that celluloid thing doesn't seem to come home as much as the live actor. Everybody is involved. That's the magic of live theater.
Yes, it is. And you're very magical, and I thank you so much for being my very first guest on Alive and Kicking on Location. And you can view this show every first Sunday of the month on Channel 98 at 8 o'clock every Sunday night for more Alive and Kicking on Location, because I promise to have exciting guests that will keep the whole show alive and kicking, such as we got Jeb Bush coming up one of these days. We're going to interview him in the governor's mansion, hopefully. Vince Carter and Bill France Jr., to name a few. So please stay tuned to Channel 98 every Sunday night for more Alive and Kicking on Location at 8 o'clock. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
What the laundry world is going to. I counted 20 gas.